Buying a home as an active adult should be exciting, but one wrong move could cost you thousands and derail your dream lifestyle. In this video, I'll reveal the most common mistakes that active adult home buyers make and how you avoid them. But you'll need to stick around to the end to find out exactly what the biggest mistake is and how it can ruin your retirement. If this is the first time to my channel, and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Palm Beach County, then subscribe below, tap the bell for notification. Hi, I'm Jan Flowers, your local realtor here, and I do get calls every day from people just like you. So whether you are retiring or moving in 9 days or 9 months, feel free to reach out, as all of my contact info is below in the description. And I'm delighted to help you get the answers that you need and help you make the right decisions too. So the first mistake, focusing on the price. Yes, of course, price is super important, but price isn't everything. Sure, the lower price home really looks tempting, but it might be in a community that lacks amenities or services that you really want. Or you may have convinced yourself that you will buy a cheap fix-it-up and do it yourself. But before you tell yourself that, let me say that coming to Florida or downsizing to an active adult home that needs work, hiring and orchestrating the crews or tradespeople that is needed is a job for a professional. And there can be unforeseen structural corrections that might be addressed first, so that could really blow your budget. Also, there are a good many ways that the people that you do hire may let you down, which can end up costing you much more than you anticipated. That's if the job gets completed at all. And as an aside, often homeowners try to cut corners in the design. And when they go on to resell later, they won't recapture as much of that investment as they could have. So buying cheap is usually not the answer. Home buyers do report the quality of life and amenities are actually more important than getting a good deal on that initial purchase. Another big mistake is ignoring the importance of location. So yes, buyers sometimes focus too much on the home and neglect to consider proximity to essential services like hospitals, cultural activities, dining, or just really good shopping and things. Many buyers regret being so far from fun things to do, they feel cut off from their friends or activities as the drive's just too long. And I had one client who moved in and realized that she was 30 minutes away from her favorite shopping places, and it was a deal breaker, but after the fact. And you don't want to feel lonely either. So you should make sure that you're not buying a property with a substandard view location, too close to a noisy road, like looking at the parking lot or into a neighbor's backyard, or so close to your neighbor that you can hear them coming and going. So check out where the entrances are and what you can hear when you are outside, because your neighbor can hear you if you can hear them. And I was surprised to learn that data shows that proximity to medical services and shopping are the top concerns for 70% of active adult home buyers. So now that I know that, I provide a list of top-rated hospitals and clinics in my current buyer's guide when we start our home search. So location is really important. Another mistake to consider is assuming the amenities are all similar without verifying what's available. I have been in clubhouses that, although they have aerobics room, there are no classes, or with a gym with limited or substandard equipment, or a pool that's been under construction for a year or two. My tip is just to walk through all of the advertised amenities and make sure they really have what they say and they're in working order. And the other side of that mistake is to buy into a community that offers amenities that you absolutely won't use. So make sure that the amenities are there and that you're not paying monthly for things that you have no value for. And many people tell me that they never use or never have used their amenities in their own community. However, studies show that communities with more amenities do tend to have higher resale value, but they're also going to have a higher monthly fee too. So you want to keep that in mind. Another big mistake, neglecting future maintenance. A home might look perfect now, but older properties can come with a lot of future costs. Roofs, plumbing, AC, hot water replacement. And the last thing you want to do is to have to replace your roof after a year or two. So older homes in 55 and up communities can cost thousands in repairs over the first 5 years. So make sure that you get a thorough inspection with a tried and true licensed building inspector, and from any of my preferred vendor list. They will be certain to advise you about what the lifespan of every important part of the home is and what and when to expect it to be replaced. And as well, it's advised to have them go over all of the mechanical parts of the home and show you exactly how things work. And that's before you buy it. So another active adult homebuyer mistake, not researching the community or the association rules thoroughly. Yes, there can be hidden or unclear association rules that can limit the owner's ability, for example, to transfer the title to remaining heirs or require the purchase of the home to only those with excessively high credit scores or excessively high or unrealistic income requirements. And I have personally had to sell a condo in a 55 and up community that the association bylaws required the buyers to show an income verified by bank statements, that their annual income was unusually high. And I probably don't need to tell you, most active adults don't want to be forced to keep a lot of money in their bank account that could be used better as an investment. So that's even if they do work. So speaking of condos, at this time, condos here are going through a period of turmoil, meeting maintenance schedules, the impact of hefty monthly association fee increases, and that's of course due to insurance premiums, and keeping sufficient budget reserves. So there are many condos specifically that lenders will not finance, period. So many condos at this time are cash only, and it's best to find that out first. And that's the topic of a whole different video, but it's worth mentioning as a caution. There are also association bylaws that exist that do not allow for any leasing whatsoever. A buyer may not realize that any change in life arrangement might require them to lease out their home. And another zinger is a rule that your grandchildren may not use the pool or at only certain times of day. And if there's an unfortunate change in your life circumstances that require that your children or your grandchildren come to live with you, it may not be permitted. So another point to find out first is if there is a time limit for friends or family to visit. And always check that out. If you're finding these active adult homebuyer mistakes helpful, feel free to comment below. And if you have a restriction that you have encountered that you would like to share, I would love to get your feedback. So let me hear from you. But continuing on, occasionally there are vehicle restrictions. The most common problem that I see is there is a particular popular sporty truck that many people buy now that is, yes, a truck, but it kind of looks like an SUV, and it's often the only transportation that the buyer owns, and it is firmly restricted. So, of course, most active adult communities will not allow for motorcycles, but there are a few that do, and I have a list of the communities that do allow for them. So just give me a call or a text. Another frequent issue is the pet restriction. And if you're permitted to have a pet, you need to find out before you make an offer how many, what breed it is, what breed's accepted, and what size. So statistically, about half of all 55 and up associations have very strict pet restrictions. And this restriction is a real deal killer and not a rule that you should consider breaking. I met a woman who thought that she could get away with bringing her cat to her new villa, and she thought, what could go wrong? The cat's quiet, it never goes outside. What she didn't think of is that the cat loved to sit in the window, and a neighbor reported her, and she had to sell her condo or villa and face big fines. So you have to stick around to the end to find what the worst mistake you can make is when buying an active adult community. And if you find this helpful, please do ring the bell, subscribe to the channel so that you can be first to know what's going on in the active adult community market here in Palm Beach County. And the biggest and most painful mistake active adult home buyers make is not doing enough research or underestimating the HOA fees. Yep, that's it. Past and current budgets, monthly association meeting minutes, maintenance reports. Get all of your concerns addressed. Find out what exactly is covered and not covered in your fees, and ask questions about when things need to be replaced or if they're anticipating replacing them. And if you're evaluating a condo, there are usually more moving parts to consider than a villa or a single family home. Going back to what I was saying earlier about the condo markets, and monthly maintenance fees. However, villas and single family homes can have surprise assessments for things that you wouldn't have thought of too. And if you are on a fixed income or just trying to protect your finances, this is the most devastating mistake that an active adult buyer can make. So if you have questions about how to avoid big mistakes, feel free to call me or text me, and I will look forward to getting you answers to your questions, your concerns, and help prevent you from making any mistakes too. So thanks for staying around, and please keep watching my next video.